All right. All right, call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7 p.m. And I will seat Goodrich as a full member. Todd, would you read the call?
Do I have the call? I don't have the call. Tim, you have the call.
Oh. See that? One of those?
No, it'd be
One sheet.
nothing.
No, we need the call. No, and I don't think she would stick it in one of these individual files, Tim.
They're not kept in old agendas, aren't they? No.
Oh, you know what? It's online. Isn't it?
Is it there?
Yeah, I think so. Can I get up?
Where's it at?
Should be under the meeting,
Under what?
like on the meeting. I can't get out.
You on?
You read it at the last
Go to
Yeah.
the Groton website and then go to the meeting.
all right, so I'm on boards and commissions. Is that where I go?
Just go to the Groton website. Go to that one. It's fine.
This one here?
Yeah. Go to government. The meeting calendar, agendas, meetings, that's. It's in a minute.
I was gonna say,
But it's that first page generally.
Got it.
It's not even public, so. You might want to close it.
what if we play the video from the last meeting? Should be at the beginning, right?
That would be the one.
Oh, that's right.
Make a motion to waive reading of the call.
Second,
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
All right, the call is waived. As you both know, hearing minutes, if you want to read them. All right, I will call HTC. Peter, I'll start with you. 23-00321 Water Street.
Is that my phone on?
No.
Hold it, press and hold, push and hold it for a second. And then press once.
It's just
It's this one.
one Water Street. I just skipped it. I don't know if he's here.
Good evening, Peter Springsteel, architect. I'm here tonight for 1 Water Street representing I forget the name. Ed Cassidy Jr. is the owner. Blue Turtle LLC, that's who I'm representing. Ed Cassidy is the owner. Actually, what we're proposing here is pretty minor. I was here, I don't know, a couple of months ago with an informal. Right now, this building is this is the old Densmore building. Sorry. It's like that. And so it was all business use. Ed bought it and now he wants to turn the first floor into a sort of a semi takeout, fast food takeout place. And the second floor is going to remain business until we get to a point where we can do another 50%. We're in a flood zone, so we can only do the first floor now to keep it under 50%. Otherwise, we have to do all kinds of stuff to the building. So the second floor will eventually be an apartment, but for now it's just business use. We're doing the site It's all paved in the back of the building. As you can see here on the site plan, here's Water Street. Here's the shared entrance next to the standard. So we're reconfiguring the parking spaces in the rear. We're adding some landscaping to the rear and to the front, it looks like. And that's pretty much it for the site. The building itself, right now, the floor in this building slopes uphill about 9 inches from the back to the front. And then there's a step coming out the front door right here. And what we're proposing to do is pull the floor out, now pour a level floor, and that'll bring us right to grade here so we can have accessible entrance on the front of
Is
the
the
building.
floor out of level because
Because why? Is it out of level? I really
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know, but
did
it's
it-
it's a wood
did it
frame
did it
floor.
collapse?
Maybe over the years, the back is settled. There's a. there's
9
this-
inches.
9 inches is a lot
Yeah.
of settling.
In the back, there's this one-story piece in the back, that's a slab, and then from there it just goes uphill. I'm not sure why. It's wood frame, there's a little crawl space.
But it's,
We'll take out the wood frame and pour a slab level, fill in the crawl space, since it's in the flood zone, that's what you want to do anyhow. That'll give us an accessible entrance, so really the only thing we'll have to do to the exterior of the building then is extend that door, make it taller. The head will stay where it is, and the sill will drop down to the sidewalk, so we've basically drawn it right here. Same type of door, that's a painted wood door, we'll replace it with a painted wood door. And really, that's it.
So is there a crawl space underneath the first floor now?
Yeah.
I mean,
2.5 feet.
so what are you're gonna just fill it and then pour the slab?
Because it's a rat's nest and it's below grade, so if it does flood, its water's gonna hang out in there. I think this will solve a lot of issues.
just looking at it, and the other door on the north side, that's at grade.
That's a step up as well, I believe. Yeah, it's a smaller step because I think the sidewalk goes uphill a little bit. That's gonna stay. That takes you upstairs.
Oh, okay.
So the only door to the bottom floor is the one you're changing.
There's two in the back. But we're not changing those. There's one in the back there and one on the side actually there.
And other than that, you're leaving the exterior as is.
Yep.
Anyone else? Anything else?
Nope.
The landscaping is just traditional shrubbery, like there was nothing we really have a lot of say, but you said you're changing. the back,
I wasn't
the
aware of this
parking
till I
lot.
started looking at the site plan, but the engineers put in it looks like a planting bed on the front, because right now it's all hard sidewalk. So it looks like he's got a planting bed right here with a small tree in it and some shrubs.
It says in our handbook that we discourage tree planters in this.
I think breaking up the hardscape's gonna make it look nicer.
No,
The
I
problem,
just
you have to
think-
have street trees too, because they were doing the site plan, so you have to put a street tree in.
That's what it is.
It's like our trees that go.
Right.
I think ultimately the tenant that's gonna be in here wanted to put a few chairs out on. the
Yeah, I would
street
think
or
they
something.
wouldn't even want that planter there for me.
Yeah,
Can't go. We tried.
Can't.
It's a zoning thing.
There has to be some sort of tree.
Yeah.
Okay,
But you
interesting.
can do a zero lot line, so you can put the building at the street, at the front of the property line. And you don't have to have a tree, but if the building's back, you gotta have a tree.
well, we're having a staff review in a week or so, so I'll bring that up. Maybe.
Well, the one interesting thing about this building as opposed to most of the buildings in downtown Mystic is that it has a much bigger sidewalk.
Does. Yeah,
Which you could take
within,
advantage of if you were talking outdoor.
it's within their
dining or
property line
tables,
too.
Yeah.
It's just that, I mean, when, are you, this is your prelim, right?
No, this is a public hearing.
Well, we don't go with the plans.
Right, that's outside of our
Yeah.
Okay,
bailiwick.
but I'm just Thank you.
But if you guys think it's more advantageous or more appropriate not to have that, I'm gonna request it when we go to staff review, but I guess it's not binding to you guys.
Yeah.
That we can't.
And all of this is in the submission, Peter, everything that you've got here
In the
It's-
submission to you guys?
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
okay.
okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Anyone
Thank
in the audience having the second support of the application? Anyone against the application? Right, HTC 23-0032 as well. HTC 23-0019 14 Bank Street, is he online? Okay, I will make a motion to continue HTC 23-0032, oh, sorry, 0019 14 Bank Street.
I'm actually here for 14 Bank,
Oh, you are?
but as a preliminary. So he's been here before a couple times
Yeah.
on Windows, and then he got us involved to help with the Windows and a couple other things, so I'm here for preliminary on that.
You wanna do the
Wait.
windows? Cause he's just going to Anderson 400s.
Yeah, and we're proposing a couple other pretty small things.
So you want us to continue that then and hear your prelim and put it on one app?
Sure.
And my motion's still on the table.
Second,
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
HTC 23-0019 is closed. We'll move on.
Or is continued.
Continue, sorry. We'll move on to continuing consideration of public hearings. HTC 23-0032 1 Water Street. Any motions, comments?
I think it's fine. I make a motion to approve.
I will second Goodman. All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
HTC 23-0032 is approved.
Thank you.
We'll move on to three applications. So, Chris, you like well? You guys want to take the sheet? Just, you guys ready?
And we know them, so they're flyers too.
Chris Vernot, MBV Architects, representing 14 Bank Street, Ryan Rob Toy, owner.
Just for technical stuff, I'll make a motion to add 14 Bank Street for pre-applications.
Second, Brady.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I. Okay. That's gonna be a sort of a separate item. Are you able to zoom in on this set? And I'm gonna flip from this one instead of trying to read upside down.
Very good.
That looks pretty good. Okay, just going to sort of quickly go through our scope of work, what we're proposing here on the front cover sheet. So we want to replace, remove 2 replacement double hung windows at east elevation, replace with a French patio door and a double unit, double hung window respectively, each with appropriate mutton pattern to match original pattern throughout the house. So that's on the back of the house, which you can see from Pearl Street. And so we have a photo of that in the set here. Add awning window to the east elevation with appropriate mutton pattern. Again, that's on the back of the house, which you can see from Pearl. Construct a wood trellis painted at the east elevation above a proposed patio door and double window unit. Again, this is on the back of the house. 4, construct a 12 by 14 approximate size wood deck with composite deck boards and composite railing on the east elevation. Again, back side of the house. 5, construct wood stair with composite railing at south elevation from the existing covered porch to grade. So that's on the front of the house, and in this photo here, it's off this front porch, sort of down toward the side yard area. And we have more photos and drawings in the set here. Remove double hung window at west elevation, patch and repair siding with matching siding. So that's on the front of the house. It's actually this window right here, we propose to remove and fill in with siding. 7, remove all other existing windows throughout the house and replace with appropriate size, casing and material and mutton pattern of 2/2. The exception is that, and those would be all new construction windows, Anderson 400 series with a painted PVC trim, 2x2 sill and like a back band. So all the details would match, but it would be a painted PVC casing. The exception would be the 3 units in the front bay here. Because of the amount of detailed trim work on the exterior, those are proposed to be an Anderson 400 series replacement window instead of a new construction window. Sort of a slight difference there, but not much. 8, construct a 6-foot high wood screen fence painted at driveway to replace the existing fence. You can see that in the photo here. There's an existing fence in the front yard. And then 9, which may be a topic that is or is not in the package when we go to public hearing. I'd like to collect more information about tonight, is widen the existing driveway and propose a larger curb cut. Okay. So if all goes well, we plan to turn this package in tomorrow for public hearing. So I'm looking for feedback tonight. I think most of it is pretty straightforward. So location map showing 14 Bank Street. Streetscape at the top here, neighbor to the north, streetscape at the bottom photo, neighbor to the south. This is streetscape to the west across the street at the top photo, streetscape to the west bottom photo. This is the view from St. Mark's on Pearl Street. In the red circle here, you can see the back of the house behind, and then this is a closer zoomed in photo. This is where we are proposing to add a new deck on the back of the house, a trellis above the deck, and the trellis is about 2 feet deep on brackets over the deck, and then change out these windows to a new patio door and a double window unit in place of this guy here. So we'll get into that further. Site plan here showing the proposed deck on the back of the house. And again, this is sort of the view from Pearl Street from the back. You do see a small amount from Bank Street on the north side of the house. You can see the new deck just a little bit there. And so that's new deck, new trellis, new door and window configuration on the back there. And then I mentioned a new stair on the front. There's a new stair proposed coming down from the existing porch toward the side yard area here, which is lower than elevation. The front yard is sort of street level up high, and then it falls off very quick behind this fence here. This is a new replacement fence. There's an existing fence here now, proposing to replace it. We show the style in here with a new wood fence painted. And then driveway. So this is the existing driveway configuration. And why don't I sort of come back to that at the end, if that's okay? We'll kind of leave this. Existing elevations of the house. And again, just to point out quick, excuse me, this is a window that we're proposing to remove and fill in with siding to match, wood siding to match. And the bulk of the work, the new deck, trellis, new windows, new window here is all on the back of the house.
Can you do a side by side with the existing and the proposed? So we can see it?
Or why don't we just circulate that? Can we just look at that side?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Very helpful.
Okay. That is pretty good. Where am I here? I'm even lost a little. Upside down. Okay, existing back of the house here. Proposed. Renovated, proposed new. So we'd like to add this awning window on the back here. We'd like to add a new single patio French door in place of this window out onto this new deck, new construction deck. There is no stair down from the deck. And then to change out this window here to a new double unit, double hung window, because this is going to be kitchen, and we're changing the configuration of the window to get it above countertop there. All the other windows will be replaced, new construction, Anderson 400 series units, a true divided light, and with the PermaShield white exterior.
And will it match the windows? I'm sorry, the kitchen windows, what you're calling kitchen windows, will they match the ones that are near the attic, or the one? If they look similar, like 2/2?
So the original windows on the house appear to be these units here. And also on this elevation. So we're picking up on that 2/2 and using it throughout the house. These on the back, these existing units are not a 2/2 pattern, but we're proposing with the new that they are, just to have like a consistency, uniformity throughout.
Why do you use the 6/6 in the basement?
That sits really low, and I don't think those are being changed out. So those are existing to remain. Okay. So this is a side elevation from the north that shows what the deck looks like there. Composite rail system by Intex, painted PVC trim around the side of the deck, painted PVC beam wrap, and then an Intex or similar column cover on the 6x6 post holding up the deck. The trellis here across the back is by Walpole Woodworkers, and it's wood painted. We have a clearer image from their website shown further into the set here. And this is the window on the front of the house that we're proposing to remove and infill with matching wood shake siding painted. Any further questions on the elevations? No? So just 3D images showing a little bit better kind of overall from an angle in the air. What the revised or the proposed residence will look like with the new window patterns, new window locations. Just a different vantage view from a little higher in the air to get a better sense of the deck and the stair down on the front here to the side yard. So the wood trellis, again, this is from the Walpole Woodwork website. It's wood, it's painted, and it'll be on 3 bracket arms like this, and it sticks out approximately 2.5 feet from the house. The fence in the front that's going to replace the existing fence is again from Walpole Woodworks. It's a chill mark variety, 6 foot high, and again, it's painted wood. And some of the detail was shown in the image there. The deck edge detail again, composite decking, Intex rail system, painted PVC edge, painted PVC beam wrap, and an Intex or similar post cover, column cover. Rail system here documented as Intex. And then the window, Anderson 400 series, PermaShield white exterior, true divided light mutton pattern, 3/4 inch, 2/2 muttons. Floor plan, again, just showing a little closer detail where the proposed work is. Deck, trellis above, patio door, double window here, replacing a single window. Existing window coming out here, getting infilled, new stair down to side yard. And just our window schedule showing the documentation on the sides of the windows and the specs for the windows. Any questions about windows or deck or trellis fence?
So I don't have any issue with the windows or the deck or the trellis or any of that stuff. There's just two things. Technically, even though that deck that's there that got driven through, I guess with a car or
Right.
something, they technically need to come and ask for permission to remove it,
Okay,
even though it's trash and it's hideous.
sure.
I got called out on that for removing ugly vinyl siding from a house
Okay,
because I technically didn't get permission from it. So even though they're gonna get permission, they just need to come do it.
so we'll just
You can
show
add
that
that
on
to
our
your
site
application.
plan as a just a
Just
dashed
remove-
area and
yeah, yeah.
removed.
That's fine. I mean, unless someone really objects to them leaving the destroyed deck. And then the only other thing is just the fence. It's not supposed to be more than 4 feet in the front yard. So even though there's a pre-existing one, I don't know that they ever got approval for that fence. If they did, if you can show that, then we can reconsider it, but otherwise it's supposed to be. New fences should generally not exceed 4 feet in height in any front yard. So even if they do want to change the fence out, it sounds or it looks like you're gonna get some pushback for the fence even being 6 feet, even if it's a new fence. I'm just taking that.
Is he allowed to rebuild the fence like for like?
Don, if you don't, I would have to see if there's an approval. If there's
Yeah.
no approval, I don't see anybody approving it because that's a HCC rule. It's 4 feet. So
4 feet front yard.
my,
Okay.
my guess without pulling the files is somebody just built the fence and got a permit.
Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
and I get why, it's just, it's not fair. If it's not fair if he does it and other people can't do it kind of thing. But
What
there's
if-
also purpose to it.
What if they're just to push the envelope and see where the line is? If you had a stone wall 2 feet tall and fence on top of that,
Brick walls, barricade fences and split rail fences are discouraged as not characters of Groton's historic district in the front yard. Even though there are stone walls, so I
okay,
don't know.
But it's not a prohibition. It's just discouraged. So I think Eric, didn't it say that even a fence taller than 4 feet is discouraged, but it's not prohibited? As the commission could approve a 6-foot fence.
It
in the
just
front
said
yard.
should not exceed 4 feet in height in any front yard. It doesn't say discouraged.
Oh, it
The
says
other
should,
part
should
says
not.
Should not.
Okay.
I mean, I get it because the yard slopes and everything, it kind of makes sense, but
it's like his only living area is on that side yard there because the back slopes down pretty quick.
But doesn't, not to push back, but even if it's 4 feet, because it slopes down, doesn't that make it
Might be
6
enough.
feet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a compromise. It's
Feels-
reasonable there. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I get it. Trust me, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just that it just is what it is.
Okay. I think our first instinct was just it was a 6-foot fence there, so replacing it with a similar wood fence. So yeah, we'll look to change that to 4, providing he doesn't have any problem with that. So I don't think he will.
Unless it was previously approved.
Yeah.
I mean, they could.
How would I go about finding that out?
Our
The
office
file-
should have it on file.
Okay, there's search by address and
The fence looks like it's like 90s. Ish.
Right. But you need to get an HCC permit here in the HCC.
It looks like
It's-
the 90s, like Home Depot ish.
yeah.
We have no purview over landscaping.
Landscaping, okay.
Yeah.
Deer resistant arborvitae. Okay,
We've had issues in the HCC with neighbors cutting other people, other neighbors' arborvitae
Yeah.
down, so keep that in mind. Mr. Dunnigan, was you making suggestions?
Okay, sure. Great, okay.
It's just tough because I get it like that. That's it for me.
No, you stole my thunder with the fence. I just wanted to ask more about the fence.
Yeah, I just want to answer all questions and then come back to the driveway before wrapping up.
So you want the driveway to be 21 feet by looking at your site plan?
Right, that's the proposed. So can we shift gears to that?
Can you just go back to, because I thought the fence was in front, like ended the driveway. It was like a one. Oh, it's on the side of it. Yeah, it's gone now. Okay.
Car drove through a portion.
Right. But
Whose car?
that's.
Yeah, I want to hear this story.
One car lane.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was looking at the house.
You know, I guess the existing old deck prevented it from going into the backyard and down the hill into.
Was
Pearl
it their
Street.
car or somebody else's?
It was not my client's. It must have been
No, but the previous owner.
previous owner, or I don't know the story behind it. But
Well, I thought it was just what.
That got taken out of the park.
Okay.
Does your site plan show it in the front yard or is it behind the rear plane in front of the house?
No, it's in line with the front plane.
Yeah.
in the front of the house.
Would be considered in the side yard at that point.
yeah, it's right here. So this is the location of the existing fence.
Past it.
I think the general purpose though, based upon like all the historic photos I've seen, was most of like the houses had like small metal picket, whatever fences. They didn't really have like stockade fences anywhere. What was your issue with the driveway at that other property?
Too big, out of scale. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk the property before I say anything, but first glance, 21 feet would probably not pass my litmus test. That seems gigantic compared to
Sure.
everything else around there. What's the need for a 21-foot driveway?
Well, I mean, he's currently only got 11, and so it's single car. It's one car only. We did an inventory of the street, his side of the street. So this starts all the way at the top of the street, 22, and this has 66 feet of lot frontage, and it's got a 20-foot 10 curb cut and a 29-foot wide driveway. And it's got stamped concrete. He's interested in stamped concrete for a new driveway. So that was one. And then going down the street, 20, again, 66-foot lot frontage, and it has a 21-foot curb cut and a 20-foot 6-inch driveway. This seems to be nice, 2 cars, reasonably sized. This sort of fits the street. So this would be what we would, what we're at.
How about the rest? I'm seeing, how about the rest?
Yep. 18 Bank Street, the next house, 19-foot 3 curb cut, 17-foot, but the driveway, as soon as you get on the grass, it kind of tails off, and we didn't grab that overall width, but that looks like it's probably another 5 feet or so. So 17 plus 5, public math, 22 feet.
And they all stamped concrete. What's the other driveway material up there?
I think this might be pavers. This one might be pavers. 16 Bank Street, this 61-foot lot width, 20, almost 25-foot curb cut, and 18-foot 2 driveway. This is just cast, concrete slab with a brush finish. And then this is Rob Toy at 14 Bank Street. It's got a 14.7 curb cut and 11.5 driveway.
What's the frontage on that house?
60.
About the same.
Yeah, they're roughly similar. The neighbor was 61. He's 60.
I think you should get it out, but it seems like it's a lot more in line with the rest of the houses versus the other one that kind of stuck.
Yeah,
out.
that's why I said I'm gonna walk the neighborhood and reserve
Yeah,
my,
I mean, what it really is it's a parking space.
right.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a driveway, it's a parking space.
It's a parking space, and he may come back for a garage in the future. And so to be able to get, you know, a lane to go in and out of the garage and then another lane to park a car where it doesn't interrupt garage space. So,
I think it's a lot better than the other properties, so I don't think it's an issue.
okay.
I'm still taking all this in.
This is the next house down, 12 Bank. This is 58-foot lot frontage. This is sort of an outlier at 29 feet, 3 curb cut.
I'm interested in how
20
those houses got those approval, since they're all outside of,
They're all outside the 11.
right?
26-foot wide driveway. 65-foot at 10 Bank.
There's no
21
prohibition against a driveway bigger than 11 feet.
No, they just have to get our approval. I'm wondering if they
Yeah.
all got our approval, if people just carve driveways.
8 Bank, 65-foot of frontage, 22A curb cut, 19.6 driveway. So that was
Not that-
the inventory of like the whole side of the street, all up and
Sorry.
down.
Not that it's really our thing, but it's not a bad thing either. You're
No.
getting the cars off the street.
I don't disagree. I just want to take a
No,
look at it personally.
I agree with you on that.
I know we're sort of thinking like,
And he's gonna do, you said stamped concrete also.
that's what he's thinking, stamped concrete.
So currently, just so I understand fully, there's one lane that goes so many feet back. Right? According to this, it goes back, looks like it goes back 20 feet. Right?
Yeah, I bong, I say 20 feet.
And so what you're proposing is that it stays the length of it, but we just add a lane to the left.
Right, a lane to the left. The additional lane would be narrower than in the existing drive. So that overall it's 20-foot 6 wide.
Just an extra 6 feet, basically.
And so that would then allow the people to pull in
Right.
side by side.
And,
like that-
and again,
like
this is
that
sort of
picture.
the best. We thought that was a great driveway there. 20-foot 6 seems to be 2 cars. Enough room to open doors, but not, you know, it's not 24 feet, 25 feet. That seems reasonable, appropriate sized. Well suited.
And so, like to Todd's point, it's more, they're pulling in and parking rather than pulling in, driving, then parking.
Right, I mean, yeah,
It's more,
just like this image here, I mean, you get past the sidewalk and then that's it, you know,
So what's the setback of these houses compared to his set for the back of the photographs? It will look like it is, but I don't know if you measured that.
no, I didn't, but the site, the neighborhood site plan would give a good sense.
Okay.
So 14 Bank here, this is the front of the house right there. We have a bubble over it. So it looks like he's probably closer to the street than, you know, that's probably about even. This appears to be a little further back. This is closer to the street. Closer to the street. Maybe that's a little further back. I'd say same.
They look reasonably
Same.
consistent.
Yeah. So I imagine HDC would have to approve that first. And then the process starts with town DPW or staff or however it works.
Curb cut wise and that kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. And, you know, understand it's a loss or a reduction of a parking space. You know, but if he's not parking 2 cars in his driveway, he's gonna have a car in the street anyway, so.
Or one car behind the other. Which quite frankly is a nuisance.
Right, at the end of the driveway.
Well, you park, pull one car into the driveway, pull another car behind it. That's his current situation, right?
No, he doesn't have that length.
He doesn't even have much room.
No,
Maybe he
you
needs
get
to
the
get
tail end
smaller
of the
cars.
car past the sidewalk and that's it.
That's it.
And then it's,
I want to find out.
yeah.
No, there's extra space. It's just it's a little bit more difficult.
Because looking at that photograph right there, it looks like a lot more space. Looks
Yeah,
like
it
you can
does.
park
It does. Yeah.
3 cars there,
You park 3 in a row.
Yeah,
maybe a couple of smart cars.
right. Some motorcycles, scooters.
2 smart cars and 2 motorcycles. 4.
But
Well,
the-
I don't visually, I don't have an issue with it. And I think also it is off to the side. It's not sitting in front of the house per se.
Mhm.
So, and it seems to be somewhat ubiquitous on the street.
I would agree. Seems like it.
And I'm
Keep
gonna
in
reserve my
character.
comment till I walk the neighborhood in
Sure.
person.
No, I mean, I think there is a consistency of two small parking spot / driveways. I agree.
Right.
Now that I know that he can't do 2 in a row.
I think that the difference is the houses across the street, those have longer driveways. They go up into the lot, whereas the houses on this side of the street are limited because the topography just drops. So,
And to get cars off that road's a nightmare
yeah.
to drive up. It's a 1-lane road. Often.
Anyone else?
Any feedback on driveway material, stamped concrete's okay?
Yeah.
And the old driveway has been removed, this asphalt has been removed. Do I need to add that to the application too? Similar to the
Remove the
fence?
asphalt.
No.
No.
Okay,
Just widening it. That's all.
okay.
Because the fence, it sounds like you gotta figure that one out.
4 feet or landscaping friends in the back there.
So is that gonna be your submittal packet, everything that you?
This is
presented?
pretty much our submittal packet.
Great.
We'll have a few things to tune up and we'll submit this before noon tomorrow.
Do you guys make a recommendation for any additional details for anything he's presented?
That's pretty complete.
If you change the fence or whatever, just provide the new details.
Right.
And the stamped concrete with the driveway and set in there, but
Okay, so don't foresee any issues, including the driveway in the submittal package for tomorrow.
Not for
I don't
me.
even know if you need to.
like I said, I'm gonna reserve my comment till I walk the driveway, or the street, so you can take that any way you want.
You didn't
It
trust,
sounds like
you
it-
didn't
it-
trust my
It sounds like
photos.
if it's consistent, we'll be okay. It was the old saying, trust but verify, right?
Bring a tape measure.
Thanks,
Okay,
Chris.
thank you.
Thanks.
Your pen there.
Your pen.
Have a great night.
You too.
I don't, just for what it's worth, I don't know that he need, Chris, I don't know that you actually need to provide the driveway material.
Okay, I didn't know if you did, I
Yeah.
just so I throw it in.
So I just put it in there anyways, but I don't know that you actually have to. I think you need to talk about the extension, but I don't think you need to. I don't see where it says the material. It just says encouraged to be paid for traditional materials.
Okay. Is there anything we need to do in order to link it to the application that's already
It's already been submitted.
submitted?
You should probably just close that
Yeah,
application.
either withdraw it and then do a
Start
complete
new.
new, yeah, that.
I think that'd be the
That's
cleanest way to
cleaner.
go.
Yep.
Okay. Will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So just,
Come on up.
I just wanted to show you that.
Can I pull up a chair, guys?
Of course you
Sure.
can.
Thank you very much.
So,
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Jake Dunnigan, 12 Ashby, right? I have to say that.
Yes, please.
All right.
Ally, 12 Ashby.
Right, I just wanted to
it's coming up later. I like a motion to add 12 Ashby to the pre-applications.
Second, Brady,
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Go ahead.
Great, thanks. We were a little rushed on the way over here, so this is a grainy photo, but
I think you want to.
Yeah,
flip it over.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Lovely.
yeah, all right. So this window here, the existing one, it's not original. Is a 36 by 54. And that's in our kitchen. And we want to put a counter underneath it, so we're gonna we want to put in an Anderson 400 that is 34 by 41. It's about as close as we could get. We're gonna raise this back up to the original height. We got the walls off, you can see where the top of the window would have been, which is another about 6 inches higher than where this is. It butts up against this strapping trim, which sort of makes sense for what would have been there. And then we'll replace underneath with wood siding for the 8 or 9 inches below.
And to the left of that window there on the deck, what is that? What's up there? Is that a door, a window?
You got to go pretty far over to get to the dining room door is like not quite underneath this window. It's a little bit further over.
But there isn't a window over there.
No, nope, not on the backside. No.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't want to rip off the roof or something?
We do every time, but no, no.
This time.
This time we're
Getting that in budget still?
well, our insurance carrier stopped covering homes in Connecticut. And then we got new insurance, and they said, they wanted to do an inspection. We figured they were gonna drive by, but they want to come in. So we have to finish quite a bit pretty quickly.
Oh, inside, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. And this is sort of one of the last pins is this bringing that window up so that we can get the counter space to make the space a lot more usable.
That accelerated your plans real quick, didn't it?
Real quick, real quick. Yeah. Luckily we could still get credit, or she can anyway, so.
I would just get it in unless anyone else has something.
Great.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. no problem.
Wonderful.
Get the application or the window?
The application,
Oh, okay.
then the window.
They
after.
have to get it in by tomorrow? Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to get it in.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to, to be on the next meeting's agenda, you have to get your application in by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Before
Noon tomorrow is the deadline.
Yeah, that's.
You guys don't have any plans for tonight, right? Cup of coffee or 3 or 4 midnight, it's like doing an all nighter for law school.
Yeah, exactly.
That in mind, additional detail that's required beyond
Well, the application itself.
the application itself.
And-
Well, the window type, the
The
spec on the
window
window.
spec.
Yeah, so just from Anderson, get their spec sheet.
Well, is that it right there?
Yeah.
That's, so you got that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And this will be color because it'll be a PDF, so. it'll
And
be a
just
little
the
more obvious.
description,
Yep. Okay.
You can, the application's online, so
And
you
again,
can fill it out
can't really
online.
See, but just make sure that. Yeah. Like circles.
Yeah, identify and put like
Identify.
a.
So that it's abundantly clear what window is being addressed.
And the letters from all of your joining neighbors.
I don't know that Natalie would agree to let us do anything.
I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one.
She's actually a very good neighbor.
Yeah.
Um,
We're very lucky.
Are you trying to get this thing in like now, like tomorrow?
it would, I mean, we are
Tomorrow's
not gonna
Thanksgiving,
answer
so-
questions. We're not,
No, you got another day. Thanksgiving today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the lawyer card and say like, maybe I'm not gonna answer that question.
I would just say that you're gonna come to the meeting on the 5th. By the time we figure out when you actually did it, you're probably gonna have been approved, so. Do what you gotta do.
Heard and understood.
So,
It's always a pleasure coming and see you guys.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
good luck with your
Yeah,
installation.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, any public communications?
Can we take a 2-minute recess?
Yeah.
Thanks.
We'll make a recess.
You filling in for Ted?
Can you stop that?
Can you stop?
Yeah.
Okay, call this meeting back to order. Go back to public communications. You said there was none?
I don't have anything.
Does anyone have any? No. Approval of the minutes for November 7th. Make a motion.
I move we approve the minutes for November 7th.
I will second. Goodman, all in favor?
Usually I wouldn't vote because I wasn't here, but we won't be able to approve them, so I vote to approve. Good or try.
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson abstain, just I wasn't here, I wanna look at them.
I read them, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
why I am, usually I would abstain, but otherwise they won't get approved, so I
Right. And
changed my course on this.
I
one.
just wanna read them, I'm sure I'll approve them afterwards, but.
You want to just continue? Would you prefer to continue?
Yeah, just continue it, I'll read them, I just haven't had time today.
I
So
guess
make a
we'll
motion to
Make a
continue.
motion, oh, yeah.
So withdraw your motion
Withdraw
to
that motion, then also make a motion to continue.
Goodrich second,
All in favor?
Goodrich aye.
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
That's any old business?
Old business is Bank and Bridge gonna be discussed?
Yeah, him and I have, hang on, him and I heard some as we were at the meeting. What's going on with Bank and Bridge?
Oh, we discussed that at length at the last meeting, didn't we?
And
You weren't here.
I wasn't here.
Next meeting, is it gonna be?
Yeah, we were gonna try to get it on this meeting. Well, we originally thought we were gonna do it in executive session. And we missed the legal notice to have that added. But I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have Tom come at the next meeting. And we'll just have a discussion
So
under old
can
business.
you get us filled into what that discussion is, what we missed, please?
Rich isn't gonna come?
No,
Why?
yeah, he has not been notified of it yet.
Shouldn't he come though? Just because of that letter?
I can see if he will.
Because I think there needs to be some clarity on like what that was all about. I don't think it's fair that it got published via you reading it and then now no one really knows what.
Well, it was an email that it was public information forever. As soon as it was.
Go,
As soon
can
as
you,
it was
can you
sent.
backtrack and give me the cliff notes? Cause I feel like I'm
Yeah, I know.
flying
nothing.
in a fog right now. My instruments aren't working.
Well, it's all on, if you want to watch the video or read the minutes, it's all in there. There was a discussion on creating a notice of violation for Bank and Bridge. And based on my findings, I'm not gonna order staff to do it. There is an approved, completed certificate of zoning compliance in the file. And to now go back and try to do a notice of violation on it is not a good idea.
For what reason?
For who's your opinion,
Yeah.
not a good idea.
Okay, so
It started because a neighbor made a comment about the debacle, not even debacle, the issue with Ruth Crocker and the Carroll's fence about how they were being held to a rigid standard, and now we've had to put into our rules or put into our approvals some leniency, so that it wasn't held to a height. And she made the point of you guys have been upset about this fence since day one, that it's not 3 feet, and it's not 3 feet. Why can it be 2 feet or 18 inches or whatever the height is?
So I'm gonna backtrack, and I think it's a completely different issue, and we can suss this out later. But I'll tell you, at least from my point of view, if this goes this way, it's gonna create a very different opinion of my thing. So the owner begged, borrowed, and pleaded he had to get open, and so this is exactly what we're talking about leniency and where this will kill leniency. So we go and say, okay, so we can operate a business, and then we get this on compliance. And now hang on, let me finish. And now you're saying, well, you don't think it's a good idea. So
We never got compliance, and the
Right.
old board members as well as the current board members have never agreed with the fence that's there. Right.
and I actually think it affects his liquor license. So I mean, do we want to start going on that road?
It's not our road to
Yes,
get.
not yet.
I know, but I'm just saying, Or that we just disband this and free up our Tuesday nights twice a month, if we're just gonna constantly have this attitude of it's okay.
I think the issue, and what I said to you last time, is that no one's ever said it was okay. Quite frankly, it's been the opposite, and that even was from the former chairperson, former members. Both Don, Bonnie, and Sarah all adamantly am I right in saying that?
You're absolutely
Adamantly
correct.
Disagreed that that fence was not what was approved.
Okay, and to go back again. In the file. There is a letter of a certificate of zoning compliance that's 2 years old. That's signed, approved, and on record.
By whom?
By the HDC,
No, by,
correct, that's my point.
By zoning, by HDC, that's all part of it. That's all part of zoning compliance is HDC compliance. So a letter of zoning compliance will not be issued unless they are considered in compliance with your commission.
but they never were. That's the
They
point.
never
Right.
were, like I've been. Both.
So, and like I had told, and I think I mentioned at the last meeting. That's, in my opinion, that's a done deal. It's signed and sealed and it's done. I think what you guys need to do is look at the policy by which that got created. And set some conditions moving forward, so it doesn't happen again.
I'm not comfortable with that. I do want a town attorney legal opinion, and depending what his, I'll go pay for my own legal opinion, so that's my position.
So
Okay.
zonings
The zoning.
overrode our disapproval?
Just didn't pay any attention to it.
Oh, they ignored it.
Yeah.
Okay. But in essence overruled it because they signed it.
That's correct.
Well, they didn't pay any attention to the commentary from the HDC and just granted a zoning approval, yeah.
I don't know if they have that ability actually under state code. With the historic district commissions,
I don't know.
I don't know either, I'll call up to Harper and find out.
I understand what you're saying about the sign off. I think the issue is that. As a commission, as two versions of the commission.
Mhm.
It's not like a scenario where suddenly 2 years later, we're like, we don't like that. We're gonna have to go back. This is for 2 years, people have been saying this is wrong.
However, there's. A path of paperwork that has approved it and closed it out.
Nothing from us.
No,
What, I'm hearing a stone in a path, not a path. I'm hearing a zoning commission, which is a stone, and the historic district is another stone. Those two parts make a path, not one part.
I think that's very well said, Bill.
I don't see a path, I see a stone.
I guess I'm wondering, like, what's the point of having Tom come down here and tell us he signed off on something that we didn't want him to sign off on?
Well, you guys are looking for an explanation from him why it got approved like that. That's my understanding. And he was going to come present that. And then my recommendation was you put some policies in place to prevent that kind of thing from happening again.
What policies if the zoning officer signed off on it without our permission, sit in his office
You
with
have
him
you
8
have a
hours a day?
discussion as to where he is allowed to show discretion on approvals for things. Where does he cut the line? Where do you say it has to be exactly like this? Or does he have some ability to make some field like adjustments based on what's there?
So I don't, again, in all just
What?
honesty, and I don't mean this as disrespectful. He's known we've never approved it. So if he signed off on it, like I said, the only policy would be one of us sitting next to him and holding his hand all day long. I mean, if you guys think I'm wrong, tell me how, if it's something we've said it's never been approved and he signed off on it, what policy changes that? I mean, I'm open to suggestions.
Well, you guys have to have a discussion with him about what he looks at in the field and what your expectations are in the field, if you feel like he's done something erroneous in the past. But to go back after that application, after it's sitting in that file, 100% approved 2 years later, and now try to write a letter of violation on it, it's a waste of time. I don't even think our town attorney will take it.
Well, I'm a big fan of our town attorney, but that's a different comment. I think for
I
$450,000 a year, they should do some work.
I understand why you're upset. I also would suggest that you weren't in charge of the department at the time when this all occurred, so.
And what I've done is I reviewed all of the communications in the history based on what I could find regarding it, and that's the opinion I come up with.
So you looked at the minutes of the HDC discussing this? property?
No, I looked at all of the follow-up regarding, the follow-up information, the emails that I read into record last time.
So do you feel that that was what the commission wanted?
Probably not. I'm guessing that what you guys, had different expectations from what was actually, approved or installed,
So
but it's signed off.
By you?
No, by Tom.
By Tom?
By Tom and Peter.
You said 2 years ago it was signed off?
21. I think it was 21.
So they signed off on it, never told us and let us just sit here and talk for 2 years. That's, I think, the
That's-
cliff notes.
So, yeah, out of curiosity, why didn't anyone ever just say it signed off on?
Yeah,
I don't know.
but we've been bringing things to.
So again, and if I'm off base, you guys tell me, I apologize. So my understanding is town staff has to listen to the commission, whether it be us or planning or zoning. So what I'm hearing is it's in Groton acceptable for town staff to now go against what the commission's been saying. And then when it comes out,
I'm not gonna.
it's a big
I'm
old-
not gonna
hang on, let me
I'm not
finish, I'll
gonna
cut you off.
comment on that.
and then it's a big old, oh,
Yeah,
oh, well.
John,
No,
this is
that's
one
that's
instance where that
inappropriate.
appears to.
That's
have happened,
not, that's
but it's hardly
a
a
general
practice.
staff statement.
This is a practice.
That's completely inappropriate. I feel it's inappropriate.
Well, I think him signing off on it was inappropriate.
Well, but that, you can have that opinion, but you
Right.
can't cast a blanket and say that that's the way the staff routinely ignores. what
I never
the
said
commission
routinely.
wants.
I never said, I used this one example. I never said routinely. Those words never came out of my mouth.
How were we able to,
Did we change lights less than a
yeah,
year ago?
how were we
How
able
were
to
we able
make
to
the
change the
people from
lights?
Orchard Street come back and rectify their fence, which wasn't in compliance?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
Months later.
I have no idea. I'm not familiar with that at all.
Because when said town staff member signed off, that was okay. He put the wrong address and that's how. 17 Ashby Street, not 17 London Road
It's great, it's Orchard Street.
or whatever. Yeah, he put in Ashby rather than
So
Orchard.
just because he made an error on the sign off is why?
That was my understanding.
For what it's worth, we don't do this very often. So I think when we do it. It's just been twice since I've been on this thing.
Mhm.
We do it for a reason. And I think there's a pretty clear and convincing reason, including the opinion of neighbors and property owners and such that have vested interests in the town.
Mhm.
So I guess what's upsetting is that it sounds like Tom just did whatever he wanted.
Well, I can't answer that. That's. I wasn't there when he was doing the inspection. I don't know how he assessed what was installed. And said that it's okay. I can't answer that. That's why I wanted him to come and talk to you guys.
My question is, didn't we make them change the lights because there was backlighting?
Yes.
And
On the
that was
sign.
done within the past 2 years, correct?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
What was, do you know the date of the certificate?
No, can't remember exactly.
Can we get that sent to us? Would that be a fair request?
Mhm.
Right, thank you.
I did ask you for those emails too.
Oh, I'm sorry. The copies of those
Yeah.
emails, I have my packet from the meeting last time.
Because
I think it would
Copies to
still
give
be
to you.
useful to have Tom come in and
Oh,
speak.
I agree, I agree, that was what I said last time at the last meeting. We should have a discussion. We can have a discussion regarding this particular case and have a discussion moving forward, what your expectations are for field inspections. Particulars, and specifics of approvals and details.
I guess so. I guess what I'm saying though is that I don't know that I don't know that that discussion is necessary because these aren't, of all the hundreds of these things that have been approved. We're talking about two instances where not even two, one instance where it sounds like he just completely deviated from what the board was requesting.
Mhm.
And again, that was a board that was under a different.
So
chairmanship.
like the letter that I read last week stated from the attorney at best, and Peter agreed that what you could probably do is, whereas everything is approved, you could ask the applicant to come back in and represent. Tom's already talked to him and they've stated they won't. So, you know, in a particular situation, I think where you have an approval, we're closing it out, and in the couple of weeks or even a month or two afterward, something comes to light that's erroneous, you may be able to ask the applicant to come back in and say, and present and say, and hear your concerns.
I know you don't have the documents in front of you, so I don't want to put you on the spot. But
Yeah.
you would have had to have signed off on the certificate of zoning compliance for him to open the establishment. So that would have mean that the other things that we made him come back and rectify after the fact would have also occurred after the fact that the certificate of zoning compliance
That's what I'm
was signed off. on.
Right.
Right.
So for what it's worth and respectfully, your argument doesn't hold water.
So when you had him come back for the lights and the other things, you didn't have him come back for the fence?
We did, we kept
We did.
asking over.
And he ignored the fence?
Yeah,
If-
and so did Tom.
If you watch the video, because I remember it distinctly, this is one of my first. And words off, he was given the certificate so he could open with the caveats that all that would be done. Because I remember that distinctly.
I think you're wrong. And I think,
Well, I don't know. I didn't see anything in it that showed any conditions.
But it's on the video. Bet you, whatever.
I think you're wrong.
It could be.
Respectfully,
I could,
and you
I-
weren't here, so.
Yeah.
But I think.
like I said, I'm looking at the information that I have available to me. And making a determination based on that.
I just think you've had 9, 10 different people unanimously agree that that needs to be rectified, and the town, not you, because you haven't been here,
Mhm.
has just blatantly ignored what the ruling body has said what they wanted. That's government. It's not your choice. It's our choice.
Okay,
And
That-
10 of us
that's-
agree on anything is so rare, that's gotta have
Right,
a whole
but
weight in it.
that's the reality.
Yeah, clear. I mean, I think that in all our minds, this fence issue had never been resolved and had been brought up in various discussions about enforcement, et cetera, in meeting after meeting. Wasn't always discussed because there was nothing new to report, but
You guys may be worried that you're gonna get sued. And you may,
Mhm.
we don't care.
So. I thought there was even a determination made by Peter prior to me being here. That he made it clear that he was not going to have staff have any interaction on that. It would be, if the board wanted the applicant to represent, it would be the board's decision. To request the applicant come in front.
Yeah, again, that was
But
never
you-
presented to
you
us.
Can't do that, and Peter can't do that. You have a hired position, but the board runs the town, runs the decision.
Right, but I'm the one that would order the notice of violation.
Right, but we may find ourselves, if it becomes an adversarial between us and the town over this matter, you may find yourself with no one opening the meetings. That's maybe a standstill until
Yeah.
this gets resolved.
Well, that's you guys' choice. That would be you guys' choice.
I just think,
And again, I'm just gonna say this. I don't think in the history of this commission, you've
Yeah.
had 10 people on 2 boards unanimously agree. So the fact that you have that weight that should put on this, I think should speak volumes.
All right, well, I'll revisit it, look at it, but at this moment, my position has not changed.
what were you gonna say? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've already said too much.
If Rich doesn't show up tomorrow or next Tuesday, I will not call the meeting to order. I think
Okay.
you need the attorney and you need him here. And I think it needs to get resolved for the benefit of everyone, because again, it is, as John said, it is rare that we all agree.
Mhm.
And I think you have a set of plans and you have what should have been there and what isn't there, and I understand that you're afraid. It seems like you're afraid of this business and this person for litigation or whatever.
Yeah, I just think it's frivolous. At this point, to try to have an action on something that's been 100% signed off and approved. That to now go in arrearage and take action on it.
But again, you keep saying 100%, but it was only 50%.
No, it's closed out. On our end, it's closed.
Because you didn't
It's
listen.
closed
because
permit.
You didn't listen to us.
Because you did 50%.
Well, irregardless of how it was handled over there, it's a closed permit. It's done.
But you didn't do what, do you understand the
I-
flaw in that?
I do. I do. I
You understand
do.
the flaw in the system, though. You have a hired personnel. Respectfully, doesn't even live in this town.
Mhm.
Who's doing what they want contrary to 10 people.
I don't think we should talk about performance at this point by any one
But you
particular
did,
person.
it was signed off on, I don't care who the person was, it was signed off on
Mhm.
by 2 people.
Mhm.
With a adamant objection by all board members in a divided board.
And it has been brought up since then. We've never been told it was signed off on. That's the other part that kind of really
Ne-
gets as a
never-
burn under my saddle.
Never being told is just infuriating, because it could have maybe been nipped in the.
I mean, you must have known it was signed off. The guy opened and he's operating a business. He has a liquor license. He wouldn't have been able to do that without a certificate of zoning compliance.
Oh, I know, but I said that and you were kind of not telling the whole story.
What's that now?
You said you didn't know when it was signed off on, but now you're saying it was signed off on when he was able to open, so you did know it was signed.
Well,
off.
it got signed off at one point. You guys, obviously, the guy's been in business. You're saying you
Right,
never
but-
knew that it
but
was
even
signed
though-
off. You
even-
must have known that at some point it was a closed document, that the permit was completely closed, right?
We don't know.
No, because the meeting said it was gonna be issued temporarily so he could open and then everything would be
We're
done.
also not.
So I
aware-
don't think you can do a temporary certificate of zoning compliance. I don't think there's anything that's
That's
illegal. That's not illegal.
Well,
document.
I recommend you watch the meeting if you have a minute.
I think what's upsetting, I don't think, what's upsetting is that you're saying it as if we know what you do on the back end. This is the first time that I have ever been aware of the fact that there was some sign off procedure. I didn't know that. We also then have also taken up matters that have clearly been signed off on, and we've gotten them corrected or rectified. Otherwise, like, the power is in your court. So just, as John said, get rid of this. You guys take control. Do what you care for the town, that you and Tom and Peter and everyone else.
Well,
care so much about.
we act as agents for this commission
Right.
in the field.
Did
And
you-
we are
so
human.
Did
If
you
we
have
make,
parent authority? or
What's
did you-
that?
What kind of authority did you have then to sign off on that zoning thing? Was there a parent authority? I mean, was there,
no, that's our job,
I know, but you're an agent.
right?
So do you understand agency?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, did you have express
So-
authority or a parent authority?
What's that now?
Did you have express or apparent authority to sign off on that zoning permit?
He had an apparent authority to sign off on it.
Ah.
Based
This-
on his,
And how would he have had a parent authority concerning the fact that the entire board was telling him that they didn't like that and they didn't want it? Do you understand how a parent authority works?
well, he probably signed off on it
Do you know the-
before you guys got to that point.
No.
No.
Do you know how a parent authority works?
No.
I think you should look into it.
I will.
That's why I think Rich should be here. I don't think the fight's with you. I think the fight's with the process.
Mhm.
And I
Well,
think
you guys
we-
are fighting with me about issuing the notice of violation, and I'm not gonna. That's what you're. Really what it stems down to at this point,
And your reason again, for the record, is?
based on the information that I have,
Okay, then I think for the sake of
and I'll
time,
forward that to you.
Yeah, I'd like all for,
I'll forward it
please.
to him and he can distribute it.
you should just forward it to everyone. There's no reason.
Okay, do I have everybody's emails? I don't even know if I do.
Sooner.
Do this, okay.
I think for the sake of time, though, for next meeting, I think Tom should be here and I think you should ask Rich. to
All
be
right,
here.
Tom, I talked to Tom. Tom is gonna be here. I have not talked to the town attorney. I can't promise he will be here.
We won't have a meeting if it
Okay,
does.
that's your choice.
And I would, again, for the $400,000 they get, he can be here. That's an actual bill. That's what they charge us.
It needs to get put to bed, otherwise you're not gonna, you have,
It's gonna come up every meeting. You guys obviously are.
and I think rightfully so. It's also our job. It's not yours. And it's not other people, and someone else can come join the commission. I hope they would.
Mhm.
You know, and they can make a decision on what they feel is appropriate, but it's the commission's job. Just like it's a planning and zoning, just like it's a town council, just like it's water pollution, your
Shellfish.
beautification, shellfish, commit, whatever they are, they're
Mhm.
all, they have the authority per the town regs and the charter to do what they're supposed to enforce.
Mhm.
And you're going against that, and I don't like that,
Okay. That's fine.
but it's wrong.
It's your opinion.
It's more than my opinion. It's how government works.
Mhm.
And when you change that, it's not a democracy.
I also I'm charged in my position to keep the best interest of the town at heart. And to get into a frivolous lawsuit over something that we have documents on file that show that it's compliant is not in the best interest of the town, and I have to consider that as well.
So the
So-
next
so,
building I build in Groton, I'm gonna cut corners. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna sign off on it.
Like I told you last time, I own it.
Okay.
I own it.
And I'd like to say something for the record of my opinion. So personally, as a resident and a taxpayer, not as an HDC commissioner, I am so sick of hearing town staff constantly say, well, if we don't do it, we're gonna get sued. You know what, if we screw up, I want us to get sued because we deserve it. So saying us not getting sued is in the best interest of the town is a cop out. And I'd like to go on the
Well, I'm
record
sorry you
as
feel-
a
I'm sorry you feel
taxpayer
that way.
saying that.
Any new business? Spent 10 years of my life fighting for a living. I've given up at this point. New business, anyone? I think the Christmas decorations look nice.
They do. I'm glad Bruce came in and didn't have to get approval for it.
I think it's good. Do you have any compliments?
For the Christmas.
Not just in general. We might as well try to be a little happy.
No. I hear everybody at the new restaurant, Milestone, said it's excellent. I hope to try that soon.
Yeah,
So,
and we tried to get there and it was like it was all booked up. So
do you know somebody that can help get us in? A call we can make?
I probably still have a little, no, I still have some information.
I'll send you an email when I want to get in. Is that okay? All right. Thanks.
Fantastic pizza.
It is good.
No, actually, everybody's been there said it's
Yeah.
off the hook, so.
No, I'm excited to eventually get there.
They may not let you in, Bill.
Just use my name and I'll put you right at the front of the line.
My name's Bill Brady. I'm Todd's younger.
I was going by
brother.
John Brady. That's funny.
Any enforcement update?
Tom, just the tables that you guys were asking about at one point from, is it Chelsea Bank?
You mean the
the
booths?
Booths, yeah, they're all picked up, put away, gone. He just wanted me to let you know that
Not to be returned without approval.
I have. no
Or is he
knowledge of.
talking about Port of Call?
He's talking about Port of Call.
Port of call.
The tiki
bar is
tables.
gone.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
So that's gone. The steps are back or.
Yeah,
Steps are
steps
back,
are
thank
back,
God.
yeah.
Was almost wrecked my car. I was so happy.
And the parking booths at Chelsea Groton
that's the ones he was
are
talking.
gone.
Yes,
and
that's what
not
that's when
to
he
be
talked about the Laz.
And not to be returned without approval.
That I don't know. That I don't know what the status of that is. All he said
We'll
was
ask
that
him.
they are gone.
We'll ask him when he's back.
I can get a confirmation on that.
It's not a,
Was never.
it was never approved.
All right, I understand that, but I don't know if there's an what I'm saying is, I don't know if there's an understanding that they're picked up permanently, or if they're picked up and they intend on putting them back out.
Or did
That's
you
what I-
issue a certificate of zoning compliance for them?
No, it was just done by call. I think
Okay.
it was by communication.
So then we can dispute it if the.
Probably,
day
yeah.
comes. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they pull a permit for that electrical? Probably.
I doubt it, no.
No, won't be pulling permits either then. All right, anyways, adjourn. Good.